You know, it's been a drought since '96. '96, right? But I want to know, what message do you have for the fans who, you know, they want some hope. They want to. What do you?
Of course. And I would first of all start with this Super Bowl. I would look at these teams. Look at New England. Look at Seattle. They're made up of for the team. First-year quarterbacks for the team, the system.
Right.
The coaches are fresh on the scene. So the point is, in this day in the NFL, you can go from a pumpkin to a carrot,
right on,
so to speak.
Yeah.
And you can do it in a year, or you can do it in 2 years. That is very promising to me. I've been there. I understand how it's done. I understand how it's not done. I do want to say that it's highly competitive out here, as competitive as anything I've ever been involved in. But for instance, we're redoing our defense, and I've changed so much about the approach that we're going to have with coaching the defense.
Yeah.
So kind of when you work for yourself like I do, you have to change what's in the mirror, so to speak.
That's right, 100%. We all do. And I wondered, Michael Irvin, I ran into him the other day. He's actually really high on next year. He said
he's really
kind of
high.
Something similar. He said, "Man, you see what we're doing? Do you recognize what we're doing?" And he basically said that he wants to bring belt to ass. His famous. He wants to bring it to the pros. He wants to bring it to Dallas. Are you? Oh wow!
Bring belt to asses. Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you're all having a great day. Man, it is Monday, and tomorrow, we got some shit to deal with tomorrow. We got the franchise tag. Oh, shit! That begins tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern or 3 p.m. Central if you are in Dallas, where teams have up until March 3rd to sign the franchise tag. And I'm going to say, before we get to everything, let's take care of my good buddies with Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code JOBU. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Make sure you call your shot with Sleeper. Perfect timing, Jobu. Kid Cowboy in the house. We got Lady Libra. What's up, Lady Libra? We got Help Miranda. What's up? The freaks come out at night. Logan Motorsports is in the house. Chris May is in the house. Let's see who else we got here. We've got Jeff Lee. My name is Jeff. Boobies up. We got the lovely and talented Holly Pierce. What's up, Holly Pierce? And welcome, everybody. Welcome. Mr. Elston, what's going on? Let's go. Okay, so I have to say, you know what? I got fooled because you're used to seeing the names you know, the names you trust. When I see Todd Archer, it's a name I know, and it's a name I trust. There's a Thomas Garrett. What's up, Thomas? How you doing? Hey, Holly Pierce. Oh, Logan, we're not the only drama queens out there. You know Philly 500 is a drama queen, too. And I'm going to get to Philly 500. Chris Bay, shout out to Chris Bay. Appreciate you, buddy. Chris, I saw this. It was JPA. I don't know what JPA is. Just People Association. I don't know. But it was supposedly JPA was retweeting what Todd Archer had supposedly said, that the Cowboys had fined George Pickens multiple times during the season. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! And it's like, okay. And my thought was not so much that the Cowboys had fined him, because I know that him and CeeDee Lamb, they had to sit down and play. Y'all remember? They had to sit out the first series of the game against the Raiders because they were, out in Vegas, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Right? So it was like, okay, this isn't a surprise, but what I thought it was, because it was Todd Archer, I was like, okay, the Cowboys haven't changed. This is typical Dallas Cowboys stuff, because, when Zeke Elliott was trying to get paid, it was Zeke who, we're not going to reset the market. Zeke Elliott's got to understand that, there's pie, and I love to eat pie, and I want to keep some of the pie, and we're not going to pay him. And so, he's just going to have to understand that he's not going to get paid. And they had him miss all training camp, sitting on Cabo. He was supposedly out there running with Coronas, and it hamstrung his season. And he was never the same after that. You could look at it and say, with CeeDee Lamb, that CeeDee Lamb, when he came back, he had kind of an injury plague season. Gina Dallas Diva in the house. What's up, Gina? And you could look and say directly that probably missing training camp, all of these, nagging injuries that he had, you might attribute a lot of those to having to work himself into getting in shape. You can think about D-Law, who when they franchise tagged him, and he said, bro, you better get me my damn money. I'm not getting my shoulder. I'm not getting my rotator cuff taken care of until we do. And if it ends up hurting the season, so be it. And so all off season, he was rehabbing but couldn't lift weights. Now, if you don't think that having your arms strength is important for a defensive end when you're trying to get separation from an offensive lineman, then you're pretty stupid, cat boy. Hey, I take offense to that you're sitting there saying that I'm not really intelligent. I got a degree in chemical engineering, and it comes in handy with what I do here with the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all are so full. I'm going to get to you, Momo. I'm going to get to you because you always up here saying stupid shit. Then I saw that, and it was like, here we go with the Cowboys. They're trashing the man in the court of public opinion. Anytime, it's okay for the Joneses to go ahead and bump up the prices on tickets, right? Even though you ain't made the playoffs, I can guarantee you sometime soon we're going to hear about ticket prices going up. Even though the Cowboys missed the playoffs the last 2 years, they're not going to go ahead and say, well, since we didn't win too many games the last couple of years, we're going to give you a little rebate because we feel we don't deserve to get all this money. Last year we ended up increasing our value by almost $1 billion. And, since we had that game there, when you sit there and you think about Thanksgiving and the turkey and the turducken and things, and you think about the Cowboys playing the Kansas City Chiefs, we ended up having a NFL regular season record game. The old record was 42 million people watching. We had 57 million people watching that sucker. We had more fans in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys than anybody else. So when we become worth $14 billion this year, we're putting in the work. And if you say we're not winning, I'll say we're winning the money game. We got more money coming in than any other team in the NFL. Yeah, and they like it that way. They don't like it going out to the players. And so you end up trashing the players. You make them sound like they're greedy. They're out there getting their brains scrambled and stuff, and they want to get paid. They're not doing it for the love of the sport. They're greedy. They're not thinking about their teammates. That's the way they kind of play it. And I said, here we go. And I put out a video like that. And shout out to Gina Dallas Diva, who keeps me on the straight line. There's something about those strong women there that will put a foot in your ass to tell you you're messing up. Miss Tracy's like that. You know, Tracy's a strong black woman. And I love me a strong black woman. Scares the piss out of me. I sometimes sleep with one eye open. But she don't let you fuck up. And neither did Gina Dallas Diva. Because I can guarantee you, her man knows, don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. So she let me know, hey, Mark, it turned out that wasn't Todd Archer. That was somebody pretending to be Todd Archer. So that's not to say that the Cowboys didn't find him, and I would imagine they did. They certainly sat his ass down, him and CD, for being late for the game, but didn't stop him from playing well, though, did it? So foot and ass controversy. So that's where we are with that situation. But here it is. I'm trying to understand something here. I'm trying to understand something. Hey, Momo, can I ask you something, Momo? Can I ask you something, Momo? You have been coming on to this Dallas Cowboys channel, as well as Game Time Brian's. And I recall you saying many, many times, and I don't know if you finally found a Commanders channel that you actually watch. You claim to be a fan of the Washington Commanders with the left hand up, yet you're always on Dallas Cowboys channels. I don't ever see you on any Washington ones. And not once, but twice today, I see you doing videos talking about what else? The Dallas Cowboys. Oh, shit! Bro, you can't keep the Dallas Cowboys out your mouth. You first did a video, Dallas Cowboys doing business like they always do. Oh, shit! Next one was about George Pickens. Hey, Momo, how about you do something about fat-ass Debo leaving $12 million in dead money because they cut his fat ass? Oh, shit! Hey, Momo, how about you do something about Jalen Daniels and say, is he a one-hit wonder? Is he RG3 Part 2? Oh, shit! How about Dan Quinn? Dan Quinn, will he rebound from the nightmare year that was last year with Cliff Kingsbury and a putrid-ass offense? Oh, shit! How about the defense? Will they get much better than they were last year? Because they were so bad. How bad were they? They were only slightly better than the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, shit! Now, I'm not even pretending to know shit about the Commanders. But right there's 5 ideas of shit you can be doing other than talking about Dallas Cowboys. Bro, just like last night when you were up there eating and you just had like food just hanging all out your mouth, you got the Dallas Cowboys hanging out your mouth all the time. Seriously. Now they always say, Mark Holmes, the Eagle fans are living rent-free in their head. Bro, can you not talk? When was the last time you did a video about your own team? Seriously. I'm asking for a friend. So either you can say Momo rants on the Dallas Cowboys and try and make it a Cowboys channel, or you ought to go ahead and be a damn Commander fan. Because see, you know what? It's crazy how you think that you have the right to talk about how bad the Dallas Cowboys are when your team stinks. Smells like ass. And I'm not talking about good ass. I'm talking about some slimy ass, out in the woods, swamp ass. Swamp ass, That shit just like, oh, I tell you what kind of ass we talking about here. I done seen some videos here where some of the women that work at the clinics that after some women had the Brazilian butt lift, apparently some women have a booty butt lift stench that's just nasty. And one of the women that worked there, she was like, "This shit, look, I can smell some bad ass, but damn, I had to tell her she had to go home and do something. Because that shit was just like, literally, the plants were just sitting there just flopping over. Just flopping over and dying, man. That's how your team is, Momo. You are the Brazilian butt lift booty stench team. That's what we're going to call the Commanders. And how about you start talking about them? How about you listen, we got our own things here, okay? The Cowboys are creating content for us, not for weak-ass Commanders fans. Go over and get your own stench. This is for us. This is for us, not for you, Momo. Damn. Seriously. Everything that comes out your mouth is either some food that you done regurgitated because you're up here eating like a damn zombie. Well, that shit was yesterday, I thought I was watching The Walking Dead. I said, look at this mother humper. He done left the TV on with The Walking Dead. Oh, no, that's Momo. He's eating. I don't know what's going on. Damn. And I'm not lit. Actually, I'm not. Me's 21. Not lit. I'm just fired up. I'm just fired up, man. I'm just happy. So, in case you didn't hear, Momo has a channel for the Commanders that does nothing but talk about the damn Cowboys because he don't know shit about his team because they suck. He doesn't want to know anything about it, but has too much pride to admit that his team stinks and they're uninteresting and the only thing that he lives for is the Dallas Cowboys. Did I get it right? Admit it, Momo. Just admit it. Hey, Mark, can I ask you something? Why is it that nobody likes to listen to about anything about the Commanders, and everybody want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys? You know, I'm kind of sick. I hate the Cowboys, but I got to keep talking about them. It's kind of like they crack, man. I try and get it out of my head, but it's just like it keeps calling me. They keep calling me. All right. I think we've roasted Momo enough as it is right now. Back to our Dallas Cowboys, where have a good night, people. Hey, you too, buddy. Neil Kalinski, you have a good night too. Dak Prescott will retire ringless. Well, Jack, I'm glad you got a crystal ball, and you know what? People probably said that about Sam Darnold. I bet you nobody thought about Sam Darnold said he's going to be a Super Bowl champion. But when they actually put a team around him, they did great things. All right, so yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. And then Stephen Jones came back around and fucked it up, brought all my troubles back. Yesterday, I was with Game Time Brian. For whatever reason, there's a lot of people at the Hot Wings and Kid Cowboy, what's going on? Jobu, I heard AI was pirating channels. Are they? That wouldn't be. You know, YouTube actually came probably about 6 or 8 months ago. There was a thing with YouTube that was actually asking you permission for basically AI to study you, to learn what you do. I'm like, fuck you. Well, I want AI. I mean, what? I'm trying to get AI to copy me so that way they can replace me? I didn't know. I like the Chat GPT, because I got my British girl with this stuff, but I haven't used her in a long time. I'm sitting here looking at my electric bill and looking at all the new electrical service that's being put in, looking at the price of how much it's gone up, seeing all these damn data centers going all over the place, and I start thinking about Skynet. I think about all the jobs that are going out here. I see all of this AI content out here. Fortunately, you can tell what's AI and which is straight up bullshit. But, if they can get AI to do what we do and don't have to pay, the little penance that they pay us now, and they just have AI robots to do it, and people will watch it, you can best believe that they're going to move us on out. You can best believe they will. Logan Motorsport, Marcus. Why Jack keep getting timed out? I don't know. Let's see. What was the message? Jack says, Cowboy. Yeah, you don't have to time him out for something like that, guys. Cowboy fans really lying to themselves thinking Dak will get a ring. I can say it depends. Dak could go to another team and win a Super Bowl ring. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. John Elway didn't win any until his last couple of years in the NFL. It can happen. So, I'm glad that you know every damn thing. I hope you're investing in the stock market or buying lottery tickets since you know every damn thing. All right, so here's my thing. I'm not that bright. I know. Believe me, I know a lot of y'all think I'm a genius. Believe me, I have to tell you that I'm really not that smart. I just work hard. Seriously. The thing I understand is I'm not good looking. Yes, I know it's hard to believe. I know I'm not good looking. I damn sure ain't sexy. Not with this stuff. And especially when I'm out working and my crack's out. I know I'm not sexy. I know I'm not that smart. I'm not pretty. But what I do have is I work hard. I will outwork a mother humper. I ain't taking time off. I'm working and I'm trying to get myself better. And I will say one thing, one positive thing for Momo is, because it used to be when Momo first started, like when the Commanders were losing games and stuff, and he'd be like, I'd be like, Momo, now's the time for you to do a video while all the Commander fans are pissed off. Now's the time to do it. No, I'll do one tomorrow. It's like, no, bro, if you want to do something, you got to work. And I hate to say this about some of you mother humpers out there. This generation, y'all scared to work. Y'all are all expecting for everything to get handed to you. You expect, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm just going to wait and let everything's just going to be great. Oh, I'm going to have a YouTube channel. And then you get mad. It's like, I done put out 5 videos. Where's my check for $2,000? Oh, shit. The fuck is you talking about? Well, people make it, I see him out there, Mr. Big Man, he's making millions of dollars. How come I ain't got that? Shit, man, I done 10 videos now, man. I'm ready to have my Mr. Beast bars and shit. But, they fronting on me, man. They got their algorithms against me and stuff. It's like, no, bro. I do well on YouTube. I ain't gonna lie to you. YouTube has been good to me. But you know what? You got to put in the fucking work. You got to put in the work. And if you put in the work, it doesn't matter what the fucking job is you do. I don't care if it's cleaning toilets. If you put in the work and you are the best at cleaning toilets, I can guarantee you're going to be rich. You're going to be rich because people will recognize people that work hard and they will want to get those people. But if you don't put in the work, nobody gives a shit about you. Nobody knows who the fuck you are. And if you want success, you have to put in the work. You can't wait till the last minute to try and do shit and half-ass it and expect, I got it in. Well, you got in shit is what you got in. You got in shit. And that's what you're going to get back out. And herein lies my problem with the fucking Cowboys. The Cowboys trust the process. No, I'm not trusting the damn process. Because the process has sucked for 30 years. Now, I got on with my buddy. There's my buddy, Game Time Brian. And I think it should be a new segment. Because this should be the segment where I get to be pissed off. Game Time. I hope we can do that. Because it felt good to not try and be this happy-go-lucky, joy, make everybody happy guy. I was happy to just get the shit off my chest, okay? Just get the shit off my chest. Because sometimes you can have this persona, oh, he's such a nice guy and everything else. And you get tired of being the freaking nice guy, bringing all the positivity. At some point, you just want to go off. And see, that's what happened yesterday with Game Time Brian, game time. I said, game time. I said, I got shit on my chest, man. I want to get, and see, we've done let the beast out now. We didn't let the beast out. And I'm tired of saying shit where I'm constantly trying to find the positive side of what the Cowboys do. And I don't understand. I don't understand how the Dallas Cowboys have to use the franchise tag more than anybody else. Can somebody explain to me why it is the Dallas Cowboys can't just get a contract done? You have known since the day you brought George Pickens in that it was a one-year deal. You have gone through a whole season where, yeah, he may have had some small hiccups, but you know what? He wasn't going to the White House smoking crack. Was he? Was he going to the White House smoking crack?
Oh, shit!
No. Was he punching fans in the stands?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Did he show up to training camp pregnant like Debo?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Did he cause an accident racing in Dallas?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Right? Was he reading a book on the sidelines like A.J. Brown?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Did he do any of these things? No. Was he one of the top 3 wide receivers in the NFL?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Right? Right? When I look at what the Eagles did, they took a 3rd-round pick and they traded for Jahan Dotson. Is Jahan Dotson anywhere near the level of George Pickens?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
How many times have you had wide receivers that have had 1,400-yard seasons as your number 2 wide receiver?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
How many yards did your last 3 number 2 wide receivers have combined? Only 350 yards more than what George Pickens did in 1 year.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Right? Am I wrong? You know what? Charles Haley, and I'm sorry, Charles. I'm sorry, Charles. Because we sitting here saying, well, George Pickens, he's a bad guy, man. You know, he's going to go off. You know some of the shit that Charles Haley would literally do? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you flat out. I can tell you when you were at JMU in the fucking locker room, not on the field. You know how they always say, keep your head on a swivel so you know what's going on so you don't get knocked the fuck out? You had to keep your head on a swivel because you might just find a dick in the side of your head. Charles was crazy. Charles did some bad shit in San Francisco. Yeah, they were winning Super Bowls with him, but they said, you know what? He kind of crazy. He kind of crazy. We got to get rid of this guy. And you know what Jimmy Johnson did? Jimmy Johnson had him he came up to his office and said, hey, coach, please don't embarrass me in front of the guys and everything else, man. I'll do whatever you want me to do. He found a way to get the most out of Charles Haley and rode that mother humper to 3 Super Bowls. And see, this is the problem here is you don't understand how to get the most out of a player and make them work. That's the problem I have right here. You got a guy who you seemingly had motivated to get the best out of him. And I don't want to hear this shit. Well, he took some plays off. Well, this mother humper who took some plays off more than doubled the production of anybody else you've had there, including Amari Cooper. Players that can do this, they're crazy. You ever heard of A.J. Brown? Antonio Brown? Michael Irvin? Chad Ochocinco? T.O.? Every one of them are a problem child. They're a crash out. That's what they do. That's what makes them freaking special. For all these people out here saying, get rid of that guy, or maybe, oh, well, we shouldn't pay him. Oh, so Are we going to magically, sometime between now and July 15th, we're going to have, the clouds are going to part, and all of a sudden the answer is going to come to us where now we should pay George Pickens? That magically the answer, we learned up more about George Pickens. No. When has it ever that the Dallas Cowboys, who have franchise tagged Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard, Dak Prescott twice, Super Bowl winner, D-Law. Who am I missing? Oh, we're about to do there. That's 5 in like the last 10 years. I bet you there's not another team that's used a franchise tag 5 times in their existence. Some reason we can't seem to come up with a reason to pay a guy in a reasonable set of time. And like I was saying, for all you out here just waiting for shit just to happen and magically, because you're entitled, we are the Dallas Cowboys, and the Joneses feel we're entitled. Everybody wants to be a Dallas Cowboys, and we can just do shit work, and we're going to get production. It doesn't work that way. You got 3 weeks between now and free agency. You got Osendigizula's deal done, didn't you? You got Kayvon Turpin's deal done before then, right? Why can't you go ahead and say, hey, Dave Melagetta is going to be at the Combine. Get a damn room. You, Jerry, David Melagetta, iron out the shit that happened with Micah Parsons and get a deal done now for George Pickens. Get this shit done now. Don't franchise tag where it's going to cost us $28 million hard money. Get this shit done now so we've got an $8 million cap hit and we got $20 million of money that we can use on a free agent. That's the difference between winning and losing. The Cowboys always fucking wait till the last minute to do anything. You wait till the end of training camp to sign players and bring them in. They're coming in, not knowing your system, not in shape. But you expect to say, well, hey, we just brought him in. He can play right now. Bullshit. Stop sitting here and saying we're going to wait for players coming back from injuries instead of saying, you know what, we got to hold on to Amari Cooper because we don't know what Michael Gallup's going to be. He might not be ready to start the season. You know what? Trayvon Diggs, not once but twice, you relied and said, well, hey, we'll pencil him in. He'll be ready sometime early in the season without having a damn backup plan. So, yes, I'm animated about the Cowboys wasting freaking time. The next thing, I'm telling you, I feel relieved. I'm so happy. You don't know how good it feels to get this shit off my back. The second thing I keep hearing is we should take our first round and our second round pick and trade up and get Downs, a safety.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Why? Bro, I don't know if I'm trying to understand this. I might see this if we had tons of picks. If we were one player away and said we're going to gamble on that. But you know what I think of when I hear people say we should take our 2 number 1 picks and trade up? I think about Morris Claiborne. You know, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this up from Morris Claiborne because I think what happened on this was another case where the Cowboys didn't do their fucking work. I think the Cowboys listened to all of the draft experts that were out there saying, Morris Claiborne, man, he is the best defensive player in the draft, right? 5'11", 188 pounds, 33 arms. His prospect grade was a 91.5. Oh, my God. His athleticism score was 65. His total score was 82. His production score was 92, second in the combine. Had a 4.5 40. His 10-yard split was a 157. His vertical jump was 34.5. His broad jump was 9.10. They said, okay, and here's what they said about him. The Jim Thorpe Award winner as the country's premier defensive back as a junior opted to forgo his senior year and enter the NFL draft after displaying elite ability during the 2011 season. He is huge for the position and has track speed. 4.5? I ran a 4.6. Oh, I did run track too. As a nose guard. I ran 4.6. So you're telling me 4.5 was track speed? A very explosive athlete, Claiborne should easily pressure for a starting role in training camp. He covered top talent in the Southeast Conference and is polished as corners come in to this year's draft. He has first-round value and shouldn't last long. He's an aggressive corner cover man who likes to use his tall frame, his arms, and get in the face of receivers and shock them at the line of scrimmage to disrupt timing. When he punches, he doesn't just get his hands there. He has his presence felt. He can run with his back to the ball, the receiver, stay on the receiver's hip using press ball technique, and looks natural running with the man in phase while still keeping his eyes towards the ball. Claiborne is such a gifted athlete with uncommon body control that he runs with the man fluidly up and down the field while still keeping this wherewithal to break off any time and get involved in plays crossing him. As a defender, he is simply an explosive athlete with length and can play. He keep plays in front of him and react quickly enough to meet the man with the ball. He is a physical and run support and will have no problem coming up with tackles from the edge. And that mother humper was made of fucking glass. Fucking glass. He was broke down more than a freaking Ferrari, man. Every time you turned around, he was hurt. Seriously. You had to keep him in bubble wrap. Drew, the only reason why you're here is because Mark won't let us get rid of you. Quit jacking off to Jalen Hurts poster. All right. People think I'm Drew. I wish he would show up. Okay. All right, whatever. You know what? Let him talk. Okay? Because the Eagles are going down for real. They're going down for real. Okay? I don't think you're Drew. You're ass. You're an ass. Oh, yeah. Okay. Only 1 minute. All right. So when I hear we should trade up, it kind of pisses me off. Because check me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. We need an edge rusher, right? We need an edge rusher. We need at least one linebacker, maybe an outside linebacker and an inside linebacker, right? I think we need another cornerback because I'm not sure Deron Bland can stay healthy. And I damn sure think we need a safety. So that's like 4 or 5 positions. And we got 2 picks in the top 100, and you want to take that and make it into one guy. Do I have that right? Or you want to go ahead and take one of those picks along with some other ones to get Max Crosby. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we need to get more bodies out here? Did any of the elite players, like edge rushers, like Max Crosby, how'd that team do this year? Max Crosby got 10 sacks this year before he was shut down. How'd they do as far as winning football? The NFL Defensive Player of the Year with the Cleveland Browns. Didn't he have 5 sacks in one game and they lost? Am I wrong on that?
Oh, shit.
How about the team that went ahead and took Micah Parsons from us? How'd they do this year? Did they win less games this year with Micah Parsons than they did without him?
Oh, shit.
TJ Watt. How many playoff games has he won? I'm going to tell you. 0. How many elite players did you see on Seattle this year? How many elite ones? How many players did you see that were top tier talent? Not very many. That was a team that had a lot of really good players to great players across the board. They didn't have holes that you could attack. You understand where I'm going there? So, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to move up and just say, let's get Caleb down to safety. And I'm going to tell you, the Cowboys don't believe in safeties. A few years back, they had the opportunity in the second round to get guys like Warren Thornhill and things, some really good quality safeties, and they decided no. They look at it and say, safety is not a spot that we want to invest that much money on. That's not what they do, which is why we had Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker and guys like that. So you can forget that pipe dream right there. They're not moving up on there. But I also think about DMV. And DMV, I'm sorry to throwing you up under the bus, bro. I'm sorry to throw you, but I remember a few years back where you were all in on Kyle Pitts. We got to go get Kyle Pitts. And I was kind of like, yeah, well, tight end is one of those positions that you look at and say, most teams that are in the Super Bowl have an elite tight end. Tight ends are the quarterback's best friend. And for a second, I was like, maybe he's right. But then I was like, it's a tight end. You don't draft a tight end in the top 10. And you look at what Kyle Pitts has done, he's been not bad. But you don't look at him and say, that's what we spent a top 10 pick for, because I believe he's on the trade market right now. So no, I do not want to package up and be a one-hit wonder in the draft. Coming out of this draft with one player in the first 3 rounds of the draft, bro, that ain't me. So here's where I will continue, where people say you got to go out and get Max Crosby. Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Max Crosby last year on the Raiders, 10 sacks, $35 million. Nick Chubb last year, 9 sacks, 10 sacks with the Miami Dolphins. Now a free agent. Let me see. Jalen. How many? I have to look it up. I know Jalen Phillips had like 6 sacks in 8 games for the Eagles. But let me see. Oh, no, he had 5 sacks. That's it. He had 5 sacks. Oh, okay. I thought he had more sacks than that. I thought he did better than that. I must be on crack because I thought he had 8.5 sacks. Am I on crack? He had 5 sacks. Okay. Be that as it may. Wouldn't we be better if we ended up, as Jerry kind of said with Micah Parsons, I could have Micah Parsons or I could have 4 or 5 guys. Now, we'll see if he can actually get 4 or 5 guys out of it, right? That's the philosophy that he tried to sell us, that, we've had, Micah and Dak Prescott on the team before and not win anything. Allen, he can't be officially tagged yet because you can't officially tag anybody until 4 o'clock tomorrow. And generally speaking, nobody at 401 tags anybody. They don't want to be the first one to do it. So you've got 10 days. You got 10 days between the 17th and the 3rd of March to tag somebody. So they're going to take the time doing it. It might not be till like Wednesday or Thursday or something before they tag him. And they might even wait a couple more days than that. And, because we've got everybody watching and waiting. The Cowboys, of course, likes the dramatics. But wouldn't it be better for the Cowboys to go through? Wouldn't it be better for the Cowboys to go through and look at somebody like Bradley Chubb and say, okay, hey, look, we're going, instead of spending $35 million on Crosby, who did have a procedure done on his knee, right? And giving up a first-round pick, and maybe it might be a second the following year, or your fourth-round pick this year and fifth or something. How about we go out and we get like a Bradley Chubb? We hold on to our two number ones and get the best two players available, or even take one of our picks and trade back if you have a trading partner and try and get a couple more guys. Because, for those out there saying, oh, well, it's number 20 pick, you can't do it. But where did we draft Tyler Booker? Where did we draft Tyler Booker? Where did we draft Tyler Smith? Weren't they in the mid-20s? Those guys, right? Because here's my other part about this with those 20s. I mean, with those picks. Those two first-round picks, if you're right on them, you got 5 years and you don't have to pay them. You got 5 years because they are on their rookie contracts. You get the extra year because they're first-round guys. Those guys give you more cash that you can go through and get the veteran players. You follow me? So I'm trying. Here's my thing is, I'm trying to fill as many holes as possible, because beyond the edge rusher, the outside linebacker, the inside linebacker, the cornerback, and the safety, I'd like to find a tackle. I'd like to find either a left tackle or a great guard. So if I had to take Tyler Smith and move him out to tackle, then I got a great guard, because I got to protect my quarterback. He ain't a spring chicken. I want to protect that guy. I want to bring back George Pickens. I want to bring back Brandon Aubrey. I want to go out and I want to get me some edge rushers. I want to get me some linebackers. I'd like to go out here and get, say, if DeMario is let go by New Orleans, hey, bring me in DeMario Davis and Quincy Williams. Bring me in. There's two linebackers right there. There you go. Let me draft a cornerback. Let me go ahead and fill these holes in. Now, something that was kind of crazy to me is, maybe I'm wrong. Like I said, I am not that bright. I'm not good looking. That's just, I'm facing facts. I know this. But everybody's like, oh, the Cowboys, they should sign Tyreek Hill. And I'm sitting here with, what are you guys talking about? What are we doing? I literally saw people saying, if the Cowboys, but George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and Tyreek Hill, oh my God. And we still have a raggedy-ass defense that couldn't stop anybody. You understand that, right? Okay, so no, this is not it. Let me get the right one. So, correct me if I'm wrong. When Tyreek Hill was out there singing, hallelujah, 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 I won't have to play for the Dolphins anymore. I don't care that it just cost me my leg being dislocated. I'm just happy I don't have to play there. And so you got Eagle fans and people saying, oh, the Philadelphia Eagles, they could be a team that would be interested in Tyreek Hill. And it's like, people, don't y'all remember what it's been like for us with guys with knee injuries? Do y'all remember Michael Gallup, Diggs, Sean Lee, Jalen Smith? He just dislocated, not tore his ACL. He dislocated his knee. Don't take my word for it. Let's listen to a doctor.
Though His early season injury was a knee dislocation. This was by video, and immediate worry for nerve damage, peroneal nerve palsy. He appeared to have the nerve palsy when he was seen walking after his initial surgery. He's said to need another surgery per his own post, and he's been cut by the Dolphins, likely with a failed physical designation, although that hasn't been specified yet. He won't be able to sign with another team until he can pass another physical, and so it remains to be seen when that might happen. He's 31, I believe, and any significant knee injury, much less a knee dislocation, is in the career-threatening category for the type of player that he is. I certainly hope it's not career-ending. I want to see him back. Where he lands will be a different story, and it seems more likely that would be closer to later this season or next season than right now. Wishing Tyreek Hill the best in his recovery from his knee dislocation and potential nerve injury. This is Dr. David Chow. Go to sicscore.com for all the latest.
Okay, so immediately he got released today, and we got ESPN and all the talking heads talking about, the teams that should sign. How are you going to sign a guy who still has another operation? I want you to understand the severity of what happened, okay? What they're talking about is a knee injury like Jalen Smith's. When you talk about having the nerve damage, see, here's what happened with Jalen Smith. It wasn't the knee injury in the operation. They did the operation, the knee was fine. The problem was he had nerve damage where he couldn't control his foot. He had dropped foot. Do you know what drop foot is? Drop foot. It's literally, that's his foot. That was Jalen Smith's foot. He couldn't push off. They had a special brace that basically was like a spring. So your foot would go like this, it'd pull it back up. And that's why when Jalen Smith had to back up and plant his foot and go forward, he couldn't. He couldn't push off. And it's a travesty because the guy's mind was there, the desire was there, but unfortunately, he never really recovered from the drop foot. Look it up. And this is what Tyreek Hill has. So for Tyreek Hill, the Miami Dolphins released him because they knew we got to save this cap money. He's not going to be ready for any time this year. Maybe if we're lucky at the end of the year, we're rebuilding. We're starting all over. We're getting rid of this thing. And Timothy, you're 100% right. He may be completely done. And if he is, bro, all them new babies you got to feed, I can guarantee you within 3 years of being out of the NFL, Tyreek Hill will be broke. He lost several $1 million on his wife that he had while he was out here making some babies, 5 of them. I'm sitting here like, how are you going to do graduation? How are you going to do graduation if they're all on the same day? They're different baby mamas. How are you going to go to every single school if they're all on the same day? That's some crazy shit. You're going to have one big birthday party? How are you going to do that shit? And I'm not trying to say this to be funny. This is real shit. Come on, before modern injury reporting rules, guaranteed contract, stronger player unions, and protections. Hit the like button, good people. Yeah, shout out to everybody coming in. I know this is the silly season, and there's really not major things that are going on. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I'm back focused and working hard. I'm excited about the franchise tag beginning to start, and I'm happier that literally less than 3 weeks away, we have free agent frenzy. And I'm going to be from Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I'm going to be all up in that shit. I might just literally just tell Tracy, Trey, go on vacation for a couple days, okay? I'm going to sit here in this chair. I'm going to get me a bucket to pee in because I don't want to miss nothing, okay? I'm going to have a blanket. I'm just going to order food in. I'm just going to be here for 3 days straight, just live streaming. Just live streaming. I ain't going nowhere. Okay? I can't wait for the draft, bro. You and me both. So, game time, I hope that you will allow me and you to get together so I can get this shit off my chest. So that one day a week, I can just let it all hang. I could just literally just let all the anger out. I hope you can help me with that. Mark, you may as well smoke a brisket. Okay. I can't wait for the free agency, everybody. Okay, so I did want to check in. I kind of went crazy. There were a couple other things I wanted to get to. One was Philly 500, because Philly 500 is coming after me, okay? He doesn't like the fact that I said they don't have any triggers to pull. See, here's the difference between the Cowboys and the Eagles situation, okay? The Cowboys don't have to cut anybody to get some cap room. All right, we are at the moment $30 million over, but you're going to get 25. They're estimating the salary cap to be somewhere around $303 million. Unbelievable when you think that 2020 was 183. The Eagles currently have $20 million, right? But the Cowboys have these triggers, and the triggers are where the Cowboys can say, we have void years down the road that we can account that money later on. Now, eventually you have to pay for it. And this is why the Eagles in 2029 have already $297 million already accounted, because they didn't put the triggers in the contracts. They just went ahead and they made the contracts as cheap as they could from Jump Street, which has allowed Howie Roseman to continue to make all these moves, right? So the problem for them is they have $20 million right now. They'll get 25 with the additional money. I don't know what the rollover is. I'm sure they have some money that's going to roll over. But that's where they can only get their money, with the exception of cutting guys. The Cowboys have so many triggers that they can pop. So, for example, if the Eagles had a trigger, they don't. They can't get any money off of Jalen Hurts' contract. It's $31 million. It's not a bad number. The Cowboys, Dak's number is $70 million, but if they pop the trigger, they save $31 million. So that's $31 million they can spend. CeeDee Lamb's number is 38. They can pop the trigger. They can get $19 million. So between flipping the triggers for Dak and CD, they can get $50 million. But it's not only them. They got Tyler Smith they can pop a trigger on. They got Quentin Williams they can pop a trigger on for $12 million. And we've got people talking about Kenny Clark, that Kenny Clark may be short-lived for the Cowboys because he's got, let me pull it up here really quick. Kenny Clark, his number is for this year is $21.5 million. And people will say, you can't pay Kenny Clark. Well, you can flip the trigger for him and drop his number down to 9. Now, I can look and I can say the Commanders, Momo, ended up paying $3.5 million last year for Debo. To save that money, they put it all $12 million in a void year. So that's why you got $12.5 million in dead money. So if you're telling me I can do the same thing with Kenny Clark and keep my defensive line in front together, why not do that? So the Cowboys can flip all these triggers and end up getting additional cap space to the tune of about $120 million. If they choose to use all. I'm not recommending maybe Deron Bland, because Deron Bland, I'm worried that his career may be shortened because of the injuries with the plantar fasciitis. But Jake Ferguson, I believe he's going to be around. Dak Prescott, I believe he's going to be around for a while too. So I want to go to Philly 500 here for a minute, because he seems to be kind of cautiously optimistic, pessimistic, and he's I think he's upset that I've been talking about how they're having money problems.
It's quite simple. Extending Jordan Davis sets up the offseason perfect. Dallas still stinks.
Okay, so Meest, let me explain real quick. Okay, triggers are something that are they're wording in the contract. Okay, it's kind of like if you have a bill, you can pay me now or you can pay me later. It behooves you to pay it now, but you can just basically take some of the money from this year's that's owed, and you can spread it out over the contract, or you can put it into a void year. Your contract is maybe 4 years long, but you may put in an additional 3 years of voids where you can say, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to pay it off over those void years to keep the money low now. Those are the triggers that we're talking about. Okay.
Yo, by the way, kick ding back here, and we start off with some breaking news, breaking mother-humping news. That's right. The Eagles have a new quarterback coach, and they are going to stay in-house for this one. Matt Zenitz was reporting.
You mean the guys that were sucking ass this year?
The expectation is that the Pound Eagles will name Parks Frazier as quarterback coach, sources tell at CBS Sports. He was Philly's pass game coordinator in 2025. Shit. Now expected to move into a new role. Previously worked for Miami, Carolina, and Indianapolis. Was interim offensive coordinator for Indy in 2022. I don't know if that is a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, when you say, hey, I was the passing game coordinator for the Eagles last year, that is not like something to brag about. I'm just being honest, right? It's not something to brag about. Was it him? I don't know. Who knows? Look, man, I will say this about Nick Sirianni. He's putting it on the line. He is taking a chance going with young guys, inexperienced guys. Mannion, the tight end coach they just got. Now you have a first-time quarterback coach. They're taking a chance, man, and I give them a little credit for that, right? Not scared to do what you got to do. And I do actually like Sean Mannion. I like him that in the role he's coming in. If he's got the mind that they say he's got, then go ahead and let's see what he can do. So it's very hard for me to tell you, yeah, this is a great move, that's a great move. I don't know. Passing game coordinator for the Eagles last year. How does that translate into a quarterback coach? We're going to just have to wait and see. It's going to be very, very interesting with this team and with this offense and how they go about doing things. I mean, let me ask you a quick question. Do you think the Eagles should sit all their guys in preseason, or should they play these guys, being that you got pretty much a whole new offense? I would think you got to play them, but who knows? You would think reps would be important, but I'm sure we'll be having that debate later on. Things are about to pick up on this channel. It's been a little bit of a down, just things have been chilled out a little bit since the Super Bowl, kind of coming up for breath. But we got the Combine coming up. We got free agency coming up. So things are going to start picking up probably by the end of this week. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at, actually, before I get into this, I do want to discuss two things really quick. One, the Miami Dolphins today released Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill. Now, I bring these guys up for two different reasons. One, Bradley Chubb may be somebody the Eagles may look to bring in as a rotational piece if he's not too much money. He's had experience with Vic Fangio, and he was one of my targets during the trade deadline. I don't understand a team like Miami. I just don't. Why do you go out and have a guy like that, and you keep him on your team when you know you're not going anywhere, and you could get something for him, anything, but you just say, we'll just keep him so we can cut him later. I never understood that, but he's available, and then Tyreek Hill. Now, Tyreek Hill's going to make some noise. People are going to say, go out and...
Philly, let me ask you this. Why would you go out and trade for a guy with a third-round pick, right? Trade for him with a third-round pick and just let him walk and not get anything for him? See, those who live in glass houses, you shouldn't actually cast the first stone. I'm just saying. Didn't you give up a third-round pick for Jalen Phillips? Am I wrong?
Get Tyreek Hill, especially if you trade A.J. Brown. I don't know what Tyreek Hill has left coming back from his injury. Of course, if he's healthy with the speed he has, is great, but he can be a headache as well. So do the Eagles want to go that route? I don't think so. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say pass on Tyreek Hill. Forget about it. We don't want him. Okay, Bradley Chubb could be an interesting rotational player for the Eagles. And people are talking about the cap space. What's the cap? The Eagles got no cap space. I see Mark Holmes is doing all these videos. The Eagles have eaten all their triggers. They've eaten all their triggers. What the hell are you talking about triggers? You know what I mean? Stop.
You don't even know what a trigger
Stop
is.
saying that word triggers. It's triggering me to hear them keep saying it. But, he's worried about the Eagles and the cap space. And the one thing
not worried.
I'm worried about the Eagles.
I'm laughing.
Is their cap space. Howie Roseman always has a way. He always finds a way. And, Mark will tell you, the Eagles have no possibilities where they can
I didn't say that.
do anything else to the cap. That's such bullcrap.
No, you can cut
just
players.
Because you see it all
You
over
can
the
cut
cap
players.
doesn't mean there are other ways to basically go about it, okay? He was saying, they could come up with about $10 million, but that's about it.
With
Look,
the
I'm going to show
triggers,
you real quick.
I said with
two
the
moves that'll happen. They give you $17 million of cap space right now, okay? Two of them. First, if the Eagles, and this is something that I think is obviously a no-brainer, right? Michael Carter II, he came in through a trade. Didn't do anything. We don't really need him. You could cut him. If you cut him, you save $8.7 million in cap space. It's only about 1.3 in dead money. So you could very well see Michael Carter gone. So I would expect you save over $8 million.
Okay, so to correct what Philly 500 is saying, what I said was the Cowboys have triggers that they can flip for well over $100 million. That the Eagles have, the triggers that they have basically come out to about $10 million. That in order to get any money, you can't restructure contracts. They're already basically bare bones as it is now. They're all kicked down the road. Your next thing is to start cutting players. And so then you start looking and cutting players and putting extensions on other ones that don't have them. My point being is the Cowboys have more flexibility than the Eagles do right now. Now, Philly 500 doesn't exactly listen to what I say at all. So that's where we are. So we're beginning to ramp things up. And let me say, shout out to Lloyd. Lloyd's out here putting in the work. He at least, unlike Momo, he is a Dallas Cowboys YouTuber talking about the Dallas Cowboys, who often has Momo on his channel talking about the Cowboys. Yeah, Momo, I'm talking about you. But Lloyd is working on his YouTube journey, and shout out to him. Game Time Brian, he's definitely putting in the work as well. Can't wait to go to the draft with him. I've got to get my draft text line together so we can start getting the guys together and start getting excited about this, because we are a little over 2 months away from getting this thing going. So with all this being said, I'm going to get out of here, and we're going to turn out the lights because this party's over. Tomorrow is the first day of the possibility of tagging. We'll see how long it takes the Cowboys to actually do this. Knowing the Cowboys, they'll wait till probably like March 1st because they're never in a freaking hurry to do anything. And that's the thing that really pisses me off. So shout out to everybody. Eagles suck. Sam, I agree with you 100%. No longer the champs. Yes, the Eagles, Kid Cowboy, are no longer the champ. Hot Wings, what's going on? If Heat Miser was real, shout out to Rhonda, who's vulnerable on her channel. And Game Time, I will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same.